3 into 38 today. We're talking about Ivan Demidov, what he did in the prospects tournament yesterday, the flash, the finesse, the skill that we're seeing out of this guy. And I love talking about him. He's a guy, he's always centered in the top of conversation when you're talking about the Montreal Canadiens. Like I said, the skill he brings, the finesse he brings, just the overall raw talent that he brings offensively, I think is something that's really intriguing. You look at the landscape of his game and how he can improve over time. I think there's certainly elements in terms of playing a more simplistic approach in his puck handling. The thing I like about him though is he plays creatively, plays with flash, plays with finesse, plays with a style of game that links his hands and feet together that you don't normally see in the average NHL player and even the elite NHL player. So you don't want to get rid of that. You don't want to diminish that skill. You still want to see it. You just want to see him temper that skill with making simplistic plays that allow him to not overhandle pucks. Like when he's in small area situations, just being able to get the puck, retrieve it, make a flashy play, and then move it on to the next situation if that play is under duress or not. I think with Demidov, what you're seeing more of, and the advantages he's had pro experience before. He had his first set of KHL games back in the 2022-23 season. So he would have been 16, 17. So he's had experience playing pro for quite a bit now. Having that experience is really important just for the cognitive aspect of the brain, playing pro hockey, and especially in the KHL. Supreme League, he played in the VHL and the KHL. Both leagues really good. Obviously, the KHL is the best. When you look at Demidov's game, how he processes situations, you can see he's just uber fast, and it has to do with that KHL game because yes, he's playing on a bigger ice surface, but at the same time, he's playing against guys who are much older than him, who are quicker to close gaps on him and just more aggressive at being able to kill plays on him. So he has to be able to process those situations with the puck quickly, find an escape route, and try to get inside, whether it be in the O zone, neutral zone, whatever it may be, just trying to find the inside lane, trying to get traction there. But that you see the raw skill, you see the roughness. I am a Blackhawks fan, obviously, so I was biased. I wanted to see him get picked second overall back in 2024. I think he's going to prove everybody wrong now. I think he has legitimate potential to become the best player out of that 2024 class. And if you look at raw upside, Mac and Celebrini is right there. Yes, but I think the second most, if not a 1A, 1B type situation, it's 1A right now. You can argue Macklin because we don't know what Demidov is going to be yet. I think 1B is Demidov. Just the potential, the upside, the finesse, the skill, the creativity, the translatable skills that he brings in small areas. Like he can handle pucks through sticks, he can slip guys through, he can turn defenders' feet. He's exploiting situations off the rush. He is able to get inside, get interior. He's not a perimeter player at all. The thing is, when you watch him skate around the perimeter, he takes up so much ice that you think that he's a perimeter player. It just has to do with his skating and his hands because he's not afraid to circle his zone and do it extensively. I think when you look at him from a broader perspective, you realize that, okay, if he can turn defenders' feet, if he can manipulate guys' heels, if he can slip pucks through opponents' triangles, those are all qualities that can allow him to get to the inside a little bit quicker. And the NHL, I think, is going to be, I think he's going to be playing it on easy mode, quite frankly. I just genuinely enjoy watching his game. He's a player who's so exciting to watch. You never know you're going to get out of him shift by shift, and that's a good thing because he surprises you with his skill. He surprises you with that flash of talent. You don't really know exactly what's going to happen, but he just finds a way to make plays simply out of nothing, which is a rare combination. I remember watching, and there's Matvey Michkov last year. I believe he was in the rookie tournament. I could be wrong. It was either I was watching him there or preseason, but I would watch him and you would see Michkov had similar like abilities and the puck skills and skill and wizardry that Demidov had, but he didn't have the hand or not the hands. He didn't have the feet to match up with the hands. So his feet were moving a little bit slower. That kind of mitigated some of the effectiveness at times. With Demidov, you see both. That's why I'm so intrigued by his potential because I look at him, I see his hands first and foremost, and then you see the skating, and the skating pops too. The skating is like wizardry. So like he can control tempo, he can up the pace. He uses mohawks. It's similar to Kaprizov style. There's so many unique elements to his skating, and he's a high end skater too. He's got high end edges. really good forward stride, good baseline speed, good extension in that back leg to be able to kick it out and then stride all the way through. We're looking at a potential high-end skater for the future. And I think when you look at Demidov's game, you see the hands and the feet link. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy could be better than Michkov was in his first year, just because of the feet alone, right? And we're not even talking about the hands. The feet alone, the ability to move that fast, is so underrated in the league today because you need to be fast. Michkov has the advantage because he's skilled and has high-end hockey sense, so he can get away with it. And many other players in the league have that same factor. It's like Brian O'Reilly, John Tavares, and then there's a couple other guys that I can't name off the top of my head, but similar in those aspects. With Demidov, you're looking at a guy with both. So he brings both qualities. He has uber tempo in his hands and his feet, just his mind in general. This is a special player that we're looking at for a very long time in the NHL. Rarely do I say that about a player, and it's so tough to say because you don't exactly know what his potential is going to be yet. We haven't even seen like a full 82 game sample size, but we've only seen it in the KHL. But that's as close as you can get to the NHL, so it's a good comparison at least. But you're watching this game, and I'm like, this guy just doesn't seem to get worse. Every time I watch him, he always seems to get better somehow, which is amazing because most players they can kind of taper off, they can ride the roller coaster, go up and down a little bit, but he just seems to have this constant, steady progression of every time you see him play, somehow he looks better and better, which is really interesting to follow. And this is going to be very interesting to trend to follow throughout the regular season. I personally believe that right now he's my Calder favorite, and I believe he has the ability to eclipse 70 points, maybe 30 goals on top of that. I would say minimum 20, but he has the ability to literally eclipse 70 points. I would not be surprised. I think there's just too much skill, too much raw talent for him not to be successful here in the NHL.